Hey, what's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Cans Pats Talk Patriot Podcast. Hope all y'all doing all right out there. I know I am. Well, Eagles week one is over with, is in the books. Now we are on to the Miami Dolphins. We will host the Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. Big game, divisional foe, a divisional opponent that has given us issues in the past. So it's a big game for us, man. We must come out early and we cannot get to a slow start. I'm gonna get into all that right here, all that good stuff in a second, but we cannot get off to a slow start. If y'all are here with me right now live, make sure you subscribe, you like, you share, comment. Also, Cash App is down there if you want to support the show. You don't have to. Anything you do is, hey, I really appreciate it, man, but you do not have to. But just here to give you some of the latest Patriots content and just a look ahead to this week game against the Dolphins. This is a huge game. This Dolphins team, I know we beat them last year, but they did not have Tua. They didn't have Tua that game. He was dealing with a concussion. Sat out for the rest of the season. Didn't have Tua, but they still played pretty well against. They always play us tough. They've given us fits, not just in Miami, but in Foxborough. They really given us fits. They had Teddy Bridgewater. I think Skylar Thompson played a little bit too in that game. So yeah, we won't be playing though. We won't be playing Skylar or Teddy this week. We're gonna be playing Tua, and Tua is 4-0 against Belichick. Crazy. 4-0 against the Patriots. Like the first game he beat us was 2020, his rookie year, and we didn't have a lot of film on him. Cam Newton year we had Cam. That roster was a mess for us, and he beat us that year. I don't remember the score, but they got us. Next year was Matt rookie year, first game of the season. That was everybody remember that. That was the Damian Harris fumble game. We drive. I actually thought we was gonna win that game. Boom. Dolphins are 2 they won again. Later on that year, still the same year, but later on that year, we got off to like a 10-13 zip, like we've been doing the past couple of years. Dolphins beat us. Matt Jones threw a pick six, I believe. Dolphins beat us that year. Then last year, I actually thought we could have won that game. I think that game went south from the start whenever they didn't throw a penalty at the beginning of the game when we went deep on the right sideline to Devontae Parker, Xavier Howard in coverage. Game with that strip sack game like that game. It seemed like against the Dolphins we have some of the worst luck when we play the Miami Dolphins. We just have bad luck. So hopefully we can get all that turned around and finally put together a full game and beat them. Some crazy matchups in this game, man. Dolphins are dealing with some injury. They got an offensive line problem, but the Chargers couldn't really get a lot of pressure on Tua last week. Only thing they sacked them. They didn't even sack Tua last week. So I don't know what we can't do what Miami did because Tyreek Hill went crazy. Waddle had some catches. I think Tyreek Hill had like about 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Oh, and Chargers got some stars on defense. It is a real good defense. So we cannot do what they did. Oh, they got J.C. Jackson. Saw him got burnt from a Patriot a couple of times. Um, they got Derwin James on defense. Bosa. Still got Khalil Mack. They got some guys. I just don't understand what was the plan for them. But Tua looked good, and if you have to get pressure on Tua. He's probably one of the most accurate throwers in the game, left-hander. He can throw the ball. He can throw it with the best. I mean, he's very accurate. And you don't have to be that accurate when you got Tyreek because he can run up on anything. Him and Waddle. On offense, the only thing that really scares me is the two receivers, Waddle and Tua. This team is different than what we just played. Philly had Goddard. You had to worry about Hurts in the pocket, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Then they had Swift in the background. They had a good offensive line. Dolphins don't really. I don't think the offensive line's that good. And outside of Tyreek and Waddle, I think they got Braxton Berrios in the slot. Outside of Tyreek and Waddle, they really don't have much. They lost Gasecki. We have Gasecki now. The running back they got they got not Raheem Mustard, but they got Mostert back there. They got some guy they got some running back. They don't have that one guy that you have to really worry about. Like the rumor has it they were looking to get Jonathan Taylor, but they didn't even I don't know, those talks have stalled or what, but they don't have him. So we really have to worry about Waddle and Hill. Last year I thought we did a pretty good job on them in the game. Like I said, they did not have Tua. I think both games we did a pretty good job. The first game opening week, we did a pretty good job. Outside of Waddle hitting that slant on us late, we did a good job on them. So we gonna have to do that again. And yeah, offense, we cannot get off slow starts. Cannot get out to a slow start, man. We want to beat Miami. No, it's not gonna happen. Um, I'm thinking Jonathan Jones probably gonna take Tyreek Hill. He's done a real good job on him over the years. You're not gonna slow down Tyreek Hill. You only can contain him. So I'm thinking probably going to see Jonathan Jones on him with safety help and put on Gonzo first round pick on throw him out there again on Jalen Waddle. I think that's what we're going to do. He did a good job on AJ Brown last week. 7 catches for like 70 something yards. Nothing deep, nothing too big. Gave up a lot of underneath stuff. I'm sure he'd get corrected, but it was no big plays for AJ Brown. He didn't score a touchdown. Devontae Smith had like 40 something yards, I think, on 7 catches. So we did a good job there. I think the key was to take away the big plays and allow everything underneath, and that's what we did. Um, I really felt like the game plan last week against Philly was pretty good. It'll be similar this week. Don't give up nothing deep. Give up everything underneath and put pressure on Tua. If you can push pressure Tua, he's gonna get off that first and second read. He's not gonna have time. He'll start checking it up. He'll start throwing it. I've noticed that when I watch him on film. You got to put pressure on Tua. We're gonna have to. Um, from a defense perspective, Vic Fangio, good, really good defensive coordinator. I know Bill talked today about that. Real good defensive coordinator. We're gonna have our work cut out again. Um, I like what I've seen from the offense this past week against Philadelphia, but this is a different beast on defense. But Philly got a good defensive front, but the Dolphins have a good defensive front too. Once again, they didn't look good against the Chargers, gave up 30-something points, but that's a Chargers. They got Herbert, they got some weapons. Mac Jones ain't Justin Herbert yet, and we don't have the weapons that they got. And they had Kellen Moore, we got Bill O'Brien, 2 good offensive coordinators, but you get what I'm saying. Um, we're gonna have our work cut out for because they can rush the pass. They got Phillips on one edge, they got Chubb, um, Raekwon Davis, they got Will what is Christian Wilker. They got Christian right there on the detail. Christian Wilkerson, I think. Yeah, they got him. They got some guys man, on that D line, and they got Baker. They lost Landon Roberts. They got Baker. Who's the other linebacker they got? They got some guys. Safety Javon Holland. He's a problem. I like the corner Cam Smith out of South Carolina. They got him. They don't have Jalen Ramsey. He's on PUP. He's out not for the year, but he's not playing. Won't be in this game. He's out for the most part. They got some guys though. They have some guys and they got depth too. They're young, they're fast, man. They can get after the quarterback. So the way the offensive line played against Philly, we're gonna have to do that plus more this week against Miami. And I think if we can do that once again, we can attack some things. Second, don't really skip. They still got Xavier Howard at one corner, and I think Cam Smith probably the other corner. And they traded for Kevin Joseph from Dallas. They got a depth issue there because with Ramsey being out. When they get Ramsey back, they're gonna be fine. But don't want to overreact the week 1. But man, it didn't look good against the Chargers. So definitely want to see some match. I want to see Juju Smith-Schuster if he can get going a little more. He looked a little slow against Philly. I don't know if it's first game jitters or he's still dealing with something. He didn't look explosive to me. Kendrick Bourne looked the most explosive. Damari Douglas, like what I seen from him. Kayshawn Booty couldn't get his foot down, but I thought he was getting open. He was very active. Devontae Parker should be back, I hope, against the former team. That'd be big for us. I think we activate probably all 5 wide receivers and we just use them in different packages. Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry, want to see a little more from Gesicki. I think our running game should get going this week because it looked like the Chargers rushed for like 200 something yards on that Dolphins front with Austin Eckler. So if Austin Eckler can do that, that's good news for Ramondre Stevenson and Zeke this week, Tom Montgomery. So we gotta. I think we can get the running game going. We can get back on track this week, man. On Friday we'll be doing my prediction show, but just this for this week for Wednesday today, like I said, I'm going to just be breaking down the game. But other than that, Tyreek Hill is the biggest problem I see. Hill and you can't stay. You ain't gonna stop both of them. You only can contain them. But if I'm the D coordinator, I'm taking away Tyreek Hill. I'm letting Waddle get his. That's what you got Gonzo with. You double Tyreek Hill, put your first round pick on Jalen Waddle, and you go from there. That's what you do. Tight end, I don't know what they have at tight end. They don't have a middle of the field threat, but they so fast and the way they use Tyreek Hill with those jet motion, jet sweeps. Oh man, it's a problem. It's gonna be a problem for us to keep up with, man. So I cannot wait to see how this matchup unfold. I cannot wait to see that one. Um, like I said, offensive line. I know we got a practice today. I don't have the injury report yet. Winu and Strange should be back this week. I'm assuming they would. They practiced last week on a limited basis. Parker was on the injury report. I think we'll get most of them back this week. Parker, Winu, Strange, they all should be back this week. Jack Jones is on IR, so he won't be back until after the Cowboys game. But we should get Hilton off to get those 2 starters back. When you Strange should be back, and if so, that's good. I actually thought the rookies played good. Murphy, Andrews, thought they played real good, and so thought they played good. So I don't think we lack much there. If they have to play again this week, that'll be big. but that we're gonna need it because I do think they played real good against a good front in Philly. I don't think Dolphins front is good as Philly, but they got some names, man. They got depth. Philly go like 7, 8 deep. I really on that Miami Dolphins front, I think it's just Phillips. You got Wilkins and you got Chubb. Other than that, I think Raekwon Davis here. Other than that, you can I think we can keep them bothering. Phillips Chubb give me a problem. Chubb really kind of scares me a little bit, and Phillips too on that edge. Thought Trent Brown had a good game against the Eagles too. That very went quietly unnoticed. But for the plan for to beat Miami, I think it's gonna be to take away Tyreek, put pressure on Tua, man up on water, and just consistently put pressure. Keon White, I think this is gonna be another big Keon White game. Kristen Barmer was active, Judon, Uche, Wise. It's gonna be another big game for that front, man. We cannot get out to an 0-2. We have this is a divisional game. Cause then you gotta go to New York next week. So we getting that next week, but we have to beat this must win for us. Can't go down 0-2. Can't do that. We can get this one. Then we just seen what happened on Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers got hurt, torn Achilles, out for the season. So that leaves the Jets with Zach Wilson, and I don't know who's behind them, but they're probably, as we speak right now, they're looking at another quarterback. I'm hearing they might go get Jameis Winston. I've heard the name Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick. I even heard Tom Brady. Tom Brady ain't coming out of retirement to play for the Jets. I don't see that happening. With that Jets offensive line, I can't see that happen. And if you look at the video when Rogers when it popped, you can see if you look closely, his calf had went back out. I knew right then it was Achilles. They weren't good, and I knew when he stood up and sat back down. I said, "Oh man, you don't wish injury nobody, but that sucks. That sucks." And all of a sudden, that's opened up the AFC East more, and it's opened up the entire AFC. A lot of you know what I mean. Not like I say, you don't want to wish injury nobody, but on a positive side from that right there, because everybody was penciling the Jets winning the division, getting deep in the playoffs, maybe going on a Super Bowl run. Now those expectations go back down for the Jets, man. And hearts, hats off to the Jets, the injury team, and the medical team and things like that. But don't want to wish injury nobody. But they gotta. That's gonna be a tough one to come back from. Very tough one. Just I hate it for him, man. I do. But I feel like with Rodgers or whatnot, I don't think he's gonna come back. I don't think he should come back. I don't think Rodgers should come back after this. There's no way you come back. Um I can't envision a scenario where he want to come back. Like I just can't. You're 40. You'd be 40 in December. You come back from Achilles injury. Takes about 8 or 9 months to get back from that. Do you really want to put your body through that to come back? And you probably only got a couple years to play. Did you really want to come back? I know he put a lot into it, but do you really want to come back and do everything that's necessary to come back? So I don't see him coming back, man. I can't. I don't, man. If I'm the Jets, it's just me talking to myself. If I'm the Jets, I would tank the rest of the season, get a top 5 pick, draft Caleb Williams, get a quarterback. You right that way you get 10 to 15 years with a rookie quarterback. Well, with your quarterback for the future, get 10, 15 years rather than 2 years with Rodgers. That's what I would do. I would not. I wouldn't even. We already know Rodgers was already on his way out. He would when he went to the dark hole or whatnot, went to the dark place. He was contemplating retiring until the Jets wanted him or whatnot. It was either Jets or retirement. So he was already 1 foot out the door then. So I just don't see. I think now it's gonna hurt him, man. I hate it for him. I'm not the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers, but you don't want to see nobody get hurt, man. That sucks. It really sucks, man. Sucks. It sucks. It sucks. But we'll see what happens, man. That's like, but that Achilles is like a 6 to 8 month like rehabilitation time. It's about 6 to 8 months, sometimes longer than that. With his age, it's gonna be tough for him to come back. So I don't my gut. I don't see him coming back. I don't. But just ready for this Dolphins Patriots game, man. I'm good. I'm glad we get the Dolphins early. Glad we get them early. Then we get them again in like a month in Miami. So we gonna get we get our 2 divisional games with Miami out the way. I think we see them again in October. So we get those 2 games, the two we get them out the way early. You ain't got to worry about going to Florida late in December, January, in the year when we struggle down there, or earlier in the year, whatnot. Like we normally go there. It's being red if we've been there week 1, but normally when we struggle there, it's at the end of the year. We always go there at Miami and we get our butts kicked. We get two divisional games against Miami out the way early. That's good. We see them again by another month after this week, man. So it's going to be an interesting game, man. Tua can be a problem. He's a left-hander, like I said earlier. Left is not normal in the league. Left, and he's accurate as hell. We're gonna have to put pressure on him and finish the job. Got to put pressure. I feel like in the past when we played them, it's always something that holds us back. We get down 10-0, and two of the games that we played them, we got down early, and you're fighting to come back. Just like last week against Philadelphia, got down early, 16, got down 16-0. Darius Slay pick six off a Butch pass, off a incomplete pass. It was high to Kendrick Bourne, whether it's Mac's fault or Bourne's fault. It was high, pick six. Zeke fumble. Next thing you know, it's 16-0. 13-0, then 16-0. So defense played good, but offense, yeah, just think about it. We don't have that fumble by Zeke, and if they don't get that pick six, we win that game. And then we was in the game 25-20, not to be good, not to be big on more victories. We was in that game without Devontae Parker, without you might well say two starters. Because Calvin Anderson is probably your right tackle. So you without Cole Strange, without Michael Winu, without three starters on offense, we still was in a few points of beating Philadelphia, a few plays to beating Philadelphia. So I think this team's gonna be good this year. That was a good loss. I know I'm not a big fan of more victories, but that was a good loss right there, man. So we're gonna see what happens this week, man. We cannot go down 0-2. You go down 0-2, it's time to panic. And both of your games at home, you go down 0-2, that's tough. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough there, man. So we're gonna definitely see what happens this week, man. Just want to come here for a little bit, talk about the game. I appreciate all y'all joining me, man. Make sure you're back me Friday around the same time we do it. This gonna be my prediction show. Stay tuned, man. We got some Thursday night football tomorrow night. Vikings at Eagles rematch from last year where Darius Slay shut down Justin Jefferson, clamped them up. I don't remember the final stat line, but it won't good. I'm gonna go with the Eagles on that game, even though they didn't look good against us. I think the Eagles they get things back going. They look more like the Philadelphia Eagles from last year tomorrow night against the Vikings. Vikings struggled against Tampa Bay, and that shocked me, man. On the Sunday show, on the East West Sunday show, I did say that I thought that we'd come back and think that nobody can be shocked if the Vikings win that game. I mean, Buck Tampa won that game against Minnesota, and I really won't shock, but Vikings struggle. They defense, they got to get going over there, man. They defense didn't look that good. It did not look good against Tampa Bay, man. Everybody picked the Vikings to win that one, but I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Eagles home Thursday night prime time. Everybody watching. Eagles to get back on track against the Vikings. I don't know much about this Vikings team, but hey, it's still early. We don't know, but we shall see, man. Hey, appreciate y'all joining me as I always say. Leave a comment below, like, share, pass it to a friend, Let me know what you think. Cash up us down if you want to support the show. You don't have to support anything you saying. It's a plus, man. I appreciate it. And make sure y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Okay, Pat Station, let's get it.